All right, let's get it all out, Norton, can we? All of the feelings, all of the thoughts, all of the heartache and headache, everything. Let's leave no stone unturned, leave nothing unsaid.
Have you ever left anything unsaid? I don't think so, Chicky.
Yes, I admit it. It's hard to live with a man that's been struck by lightning twice. Yes, I'm frightened to be close to you when we're outside and there's a storm on the horizon, as there is now. And no, I don't understand. In fact, no one understands why you seem to bring bad weather with you everywhere you go.
Not everywhere. That's an exaggeration.
Everywhere, Norton. For 3 years, thunder, lightning, rain, sleet and snow, not to mention the occasional hurricane, forced winds have followed you around like a puppy at your heels. You're banned from traveling in 43 states. The Weather Channel has its own on screen icon of you to let people know where exactly in the world you are so everyone else can make travel plans. And while the scholars, scientists, meteorologists, universities, newspapers, and fifth grade science club all have tried to figure out why Norton Templar, lawn furniture salesman from Summit, New Jersey, is weather provoking, a term I still find uncomfortable, quite frankly. I spend my days trying to love you as if nothing happened, but you, my sweet but troubled husband, refuse to let that happen.
Because I'm miserable.
We're all miserable, the least of which is your young daughter that begged you for months to let her alone.
I wanted my daughter to have a traditional wedding outside in our beautiful backyard. Why is that so hard for everyone to understand?
What you wanted was to prove to the world that your run of the bad weather luck was broken after visiting some feather wearing, rattle shaking, clay pot making shaman from Santa Fe that sells gas on the weekends at an Exxon station to make ends meet.
He had a gift.
He had an act, and it got you where, Norton? Nowhere. So now that you've managed to rein in the rehearsal for your daughter's wedding, as well as seemingly fled 3 local counties due south of here, your daughter would like you to leave and take the bad weather with you. If you want a wedding, she'll have a wedding, but she won't have a wedding that involves her father because that comes with 100% chance of rain, sleet, snow, hail, or coastal swelling.
I'm not going anywhere, Miss Doom and Gloom. So go back inside the house.
Wings, Norton.
Don't start with me, Chicky.
Who's starting? I'm just looking at that pile of disassembled chicken in your lap, and it gives one pause.
Gives one pause. Who talks like that, Chicky? I don't talk like that, and so neither do you. I don't recall you talking like that. But then again, the last 3 years have been a bit of a blur for me.
You've got a pile of fried chicken wings from the rehearsal dinner in your lap, Norton. You've been on a very strict diet for 2 years because of your health. And today, with a lap full of wings, it all goes to hell. How could I?
It all went to hell way before the wings. 3 years ago, I began my slow, torturous descent into hell, and today I finally sunk to the lowest of low, the underbelly of Satan's ball sack. That's how low and how deep in hell I am.
Oh, for God's sake. Satan's ball sack, Norton? Where in the world did you get something like that?
In the same store you bought it gives one pause. You might know the store. It's right up the corner of Who Gives a Damn Street and Stop Busting My Balls Avenue.
You know, things would be just a little bit easier if...
What? If what? If 3 years ago I hadn't been struck by lightning but miraculously lived to tell the story? If I hadn't not a year later, almost to the date, been struck again by yet another lightning bolt, something that has only been documented twice in all of history, but happens to me, Norton Templar, lawn furniture salesman from Summit, New Jersey. Things would be much easier if what? If what hadn't happened?
I was going to say things would be much easier if you weren't so dramatic about everything.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Am I being dramatic? Now, why would that be? Could it be that my daughter decides at her wedding rehearsal that I should not walk her down the aisle to give her away, but in fact stand approximately 200 feet away from her? A fun fact she Googled last night when she couldn't sleep. What is the safe radius for a lightning strike? 200 feet. That would put me in the street, Chicky, to watch my daughter's wedding. And now I learned she'd like me to not be here at all? Or is it the fact that my wife, who's concerned about me eating chicken wings, being dramatic, and saying things like Satan's ball sack, won't risk sitting with me in the open air? She won't lower her umbrella, which is probably more than a lightning rod than the one she's married to sit with her husband and talk about this in person.
Fine. You want to talk? Talk! Leave no stone unturned. Here we go. You're not talking.
What am I gonna do?
Oh, they don't want you at your high school reunion. Who cares? They should be so lucky to have a storm or two around that deadly dull event. Besides, were you really looking forward to seeing Mimi Delphont in those tight black stirrup stretch pants providing your annual viewing of Suburban Camel Toe? I think not, Norton. That was never my idea of a good time.
Danny Tomlin always enjoyed the view.
Danny Tomlins wanted to have a vagina since he was in the ninth grade. Of course, he enjoyed the view. So you'll get another job.
You can't blame him, really. Can't really sell lawn if it pours down on you and your clients every time you step outside. Sales were dropping and my novelty's wearing off. I mean, how far could I really go with the human lightning rod? Just can't blame him.
They got a lot of good press out of you.
Yeah. And I got someplace to go every day. So I think we're even. Now what? I don't know. I don't know anything. Maybe for the first time in my life.
Maybe that's not so bad, Norton. How many more of these do you have?
Last one, I swear.
Do you really want to live in Oregon?
Well, they need the rain, and apparently a lot of it. Of course, I can't guarantee them anything, but my odds are good, to say the least, and they're offering good money.
Oregon? I don't know, Norton. I've never even heard of someone being from Oregon. Have you? I mean, I know it's a state, but have you actually ever heard someone say, I'm from Oregon in all of my years? I don't think I have.
Yeah, it's probably not such a good idea. I'm glad you're on my side, kid.
Me too. It's a little lonely sometimes, but I'm where I belong.
Well, I tell you to go out, go to a movie, see friends, but you never do. I can imagine. I've still got one side of me that works. Served a whole plate of chicken wings for myself. See? You should go out. You should see friends.
Friends I see, Norton. I'm lonely being right beside you because you're often not there. Even when you're here, you're not here. When you were struck by lightning, I saw you leave the earth, lift right up and float way far away. And since then, every day, I look into those big, bulbous clouds, half expecting to see you float back down. But of course, that never happens. And I'm sad about it, Norton. Sad that ever since you became weather provoking, things have been bad in a way I never expected. A real storm on storm.
What's that mean?
There's the weather on the outside. And maybe it's because of you, maybe it's not. Who knows? They're on the inside of the house. And that's absolutely because of you. There's a storm building up in our home, a violent, horrible storm that's going to explode on us. It's going to rain down misery and sadness all over us. Because whether you see it or not, whether you feel or not, I still love you. But
But
Norton, I need you to love me. Or so help me God, I'll leave you.
but I still love you. Of course I still love you.
Then why do you bring the cold in? It's freezing in our house. This beautiful home we built together, there's no warmth in there anywhere. Not in any corner of any room. You're making it unlivable in there.
I know I'm cold. I'm cold because I'm broken. I'm half a man. Half of me doesn't work, Chicky. That's what lightning does to you if you survive. And that part of me that really needs to work has no life at all. Try living with that.
Frankly, I'm a little glad it's gone.
What?
Well, because it's always about the putts, isn't it? Everything's always about the putts. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? How long is it going to work before it begins to feel like work? All in all, I think it's overrated.
That's easy for you to say.
Norton, what are you talking about? So you don't have a penis. I have no breasts because of my cancer. We're a perfect match. We always were, even before. There was a time when we didn't know each other that way, the physical way, and you loved me and I loved you with every and desire we had for each other. Go back to those days. Love me with your eyes, Norton. Love me with your sweet smile. Love me with everything you have, whatever that is. I can live a lifetime with a simple touch of your hand and the look of desire in your eye, but I can't live a moment more without it.
If lightning strikes again, I gotta have one last look in these eyes before I go.
No one could be that unlucky. Lightning won't strike again, at least not that way.
The minister's still around. Get him out here. I want to marry you all over again.
Norton, what should I tell your daughter?
Tell her she's invited to our wedding.